Well, good morning here at my new store here in Cherryville, North Carolina. Thought I'd give you an update on the weather and kind of chat and see who gets in here. Let me see if I can get my chat room on this other one here going. I'm going to try to keep up with the chat. I let it get away from me yesterday. I couldn't see the chat myself because it was scrolling across so fast and everything. So I'm gonna see if I can get a few people in here and see what's going on. Let's see if I can. I don't make sure I don't get muted out here, so I don't make sure I don't get muted out here. So there we go. Got it muted now, so I watch it on my iPad and be able to talk on this other one here. So I can maybe make this chat box a little bit larger if I can. Let me see if I can do that. Let me turn it that way and see if that chat box will stay a little bit larger. Trying to get the technology squared away this morning. Well, as far as the weather update, here in the western part of North Carolina, the tropical storm seems to be this. Hey, Ponca, how are you doing? Hey, Tim, glad to see a couple of people in. As far as the storm is concerned, it looks like it's not, hopefully it's not going to be as rough as they were expecting over here on our part of the state. We're getting the outer bands of the storm right now. The wind's not too bad, and it's drizzly rain, and it's not raining too hard here. Now, I'm 37 miles west of Charlotte. So, it's not going to be hitting me as hard as quick. I'm in between. I'm south of Hickory, North Carolina. If you ever GPS this, my little town is Cherryville, North Carolina. That's where I'm at. And we're, like I said, we're between, to give you a couple of the other larger towns around me, I've got Shelby, North Carolina to the west of me. About 12 miles west of here is Shelby, North Carolina. And then, hey, truck driving lady, how are you? Hey, you like my shirt, do you? Yeah, you got it's old FedEx guys here. We have to put a shirt on like that. I hope everybody likes that. I'm an old man in a FedEx shirt is what I am. And an old FedEx driver. Been out here, a good many years in this driving game. And, we're still knocking away at it, enjoying it. I still enjoy my job, still enjoy my career. I'm not ready to give up on it or anything. It's been a good career for me. Like I said, even with the expansion of the Napa store out here, I feel like that's going to enhance my business too. It's give me some. I don't know how money making it's going to be, but it's actually a money pit right now. My wife says because I keep spending on this Napa store. So she said I'm taking every personal dollar that I've saved over the past few years and I'm pouring it into this. But I think it will pay off. We were able to get a franchise that had actually, the boy had let it go downhill a good bit. We're independent. Napa, most Napa stores are independent. So it's whatever you put into it. In other words, it's not like a corporate store like you go to AutoZone and, Advance or O'Reilly's or some of these. Those are corporate stores. They're owned by the, hey, James Best, how are you? Glad to see you up. Glad to see you in here. But those corporate stores, they are designated just whatever the corporate says. Here's what you can do in your area. Fortunately for me, because I want to have more. Let me turn this back so I don't look like I'm upside down so much. I can gear this store to exactly what I think my clientele will be in this area. And I'm out in the rural area, so I'm gearing up more to farmers, for truckers, for people that are, how-to people, a lot of, that's that type person. So that's what I'm gearing this store up for. And so far, so good. I mean, I've had it almost a year. It'll be a year in November. Now it's located right now in another location. It's located on Main Street, but we bought the old Ford dealership this past year, about 4 or 5 months ago, and we've been remodeling it. And we're happy with the remodel. Let me walk around here a little bit with it. Let me unplug the laptop here. I'm gonna walk around with you here. I've got good Wi-Fi in here, so I can kind of walk around. Now we're remodeling the store right now as we speak. My wife and I'm trying to save money, so I'm pretty decent with carpentry, so I'm doing some of the interior walls and everything myself. Well, we've done a lot of the work. We had a glass showroom. For those of you that haven't heard me talk about this before, it was a glass showroom like you see a lot of the Ford dealerships around that have been, this store was built in '68. And I actually worked out here at one time too. So, I kind of have a love for it, for the fact now I'm able to buy it. But it was built in '68. It was all glass in here in this part here. And hey, Matt, glad to see you in there. Yeah, I still got power. Yep, that's a good signal there. Yeah, I still have power. The rain is, get back to the weather part. The rain's not been too bad. I mean, we just got like a little drizzle of rain out here right now. And maybe JC can get out of the mountains before it gets bad up there. JC's about, we're speaking of JC Smith. He's about, 3 hours away from where I'm at right now. I'll go outside and show these people. I don't want to get out too far with my laptop in the rain. It's actually drizzly rain, but I'm underneath the shed. We have a nice shed here, you can see. But we put this corrugated metal on the outside, the gray nappa colors. And then up at the top here, I've got the blue right over the doors and everything. I covered over all the glass that was on the showroom. Get back in here so I don't get my laptop wet. But we covered over that, and then on the inside, we've taken all the old fluorescent lights and changed them over to LEDs. You can see all those. Put us a large HVAC unit right down the middle, like you see in a lot of these restaurants and everything, one of these big corrugated metal HVACs. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. No, the storm's actually just getting here. We're getting the outside bands of it right now. If you look on I'm 37 miles away from Charlotte, west of Charlotte. I'm in between Charlotte and the mountains, where JC is right now over there in the Tennessee area. So I'm on the western neck of it. And from what I've seen on the weather, that it looks like it's kind of breaking apart a little bit. It's stalling over Myrtle Beach and Wilmington, but it's a huge storm. And the outer bands of it's the outer bands of it are getting over here a little bit right now. We're getting a little bit of the wind. The trees aren't too bad. I've been watching the treetops and everything. We're not getting a lot of wind yet, so that's what the soaking rain and the wind combination is what really tears up all the power lines and everything else. To the east of me right now, I think they're getting a little bit more toward Raleigh and Greensboro and Salisbury and those type areas, but not here. I think we're doing pretty good here right now, and all that. But getting back to the store, guys, we're putting up this pegboard, and what we've done, we've double insulated this. This is R10 2-inch insulation on the inside. Then we come in and slatted this, had to put this metal in here for support. And then we're putting this pegboard up for the store. And we're doing that all around. You'll see all my scaffolding. Of course, you'll see a lot of my insulation over here. we're still insulating overhead. That's the other thing. We're insulating the up above this suspended ceiling here. We're trying to get R40 up there too. We're doing a pretty good job with that. We've got it insulated, and it's really changing the HVAC status of it. It's doing good. And then back in here, we've torn out some of these old salesman's room. We've made us a wider area to get back in to here where the biggest part of some of the parts is going to be. And let me step over here. I'll show Matt. Whoops. Turn on some more lights. Matt, if you see that, I know you know those. Those are Dorman. These are Dorman doors, metals and everything. We're loaded up. I've got several more of these. We've already got these lined up down this wall. I've got enough to fill up all the way to the end of the wall on that right now. Oh, thanks. I'm glad in a minute that you found me here. But, this is sort of the walk around of my store and everything. I'm doing a lot of the inside work today, my wife and I, trying to get this ready. We're going to do some painting. We're putting these stations out front. We're going to do a little bit like an Apple store or something. We're going to do away with the old-timey conventional set in front of the parts store. Napa has got ideas of doing more of a, like a lot of people do it like Apple does, and some of these other stores now, where the guys will be standing up here with the counter and be able to wait on people a little bit better, a little more efficient. My old store over there across town, we got the guys that will just sit back behind the desk and, run out and smoke a cigarette and then want to be lazy about things. No offense, but I'm trying to change that mentality and get this one up to snuff a little bit better, and make it productive. And it does. I think it makes for it, and that's what we're after. We're after the clientele. The old store, it has you good traditional mechanics and so on that want to go there, but there's a lot of clientele that we're not getting because of the fact that we didn't have the cleaner looking store, the Advanced Auto Parts and some of these others. We got to make it friendly for everybody coming in, and you don't want to give the outside appearance that you're not going to be user friendly for male, female, whoever, everything, so we can't have the old mentality of doing that and be productive and make it a good store. So we're modernizing it a little bit from what was traditionally done in town here. So I'm hoping I'm going the right direction. But that being said, we still have a lot of things for other things. I'm opening up more. I got a lot of farmers in this area, a lot of construction people, and we're going to be carrying a lot more of those items than the previous store owner did too. I bought out another parts store just a little over 2 weeks ago, and I've taken his inventory and I'm blending it into my inventory. And he was a specialist in truck parts and everything. And what I'm doing with his is, and let me step over here and get this other thing. What I'm doing with his is to, I'm able to, enhance what we've got, and we're gonna bump the inventory a considerable amount from what we did have, because I need to keep the parts for myself too with the FedEx. I don't know if you see my FedEx shirt on here, but I still have, we still maintain about 40 trucks with FedEx, and I have a pretty good sized shop that it's sort of a twofold thing. I'm one of my own best customers. I always have been. Hey, Lakeside, glad to see you in here. Yeah, we're filtering through the remnants of the storm right now. The storm on the coast is hitting my side of the state a little bit, not bad. Well, and that's what yeah, on these clean tables, yeah. Well, I've already told the guys, be cautious when somebody throws a big old dirty part up here, and it can be wiped down. It can be wiped down, and I know some of that's going to happen, but that's we still you got to start with clean anyway. Hey, Greg, glad to see you in here too. You got to start with clean. If you have an old dirty one and keep it dirty, you're never going to have anything. So yeah, we're going to have that issue if somebody comes in with that, but maybe they will give us a little respect for it and not uh, drag too many dirty parts in. I mean, we're going to have it, and we may have to lay something out for somebody, pull out I've thought about doing some of that and say have a paper roll thing where I can pull it out and put it down where, or a map of some description so somebody can put a part up there. But we're going to start with this, and we'll, if we have to evolve into something else, we will. We can. These tops are sturdy and they're wood grain. And they look good, but we realize that may not hold its own for very long. But we'll deal with it. If we have to change that out, that won't be that big of an issue. But I hope it will help the appearance. We're going to rack some. I'm going to cage some shelves underneath there so I can put tools underneath each table, and hopefully we can. You got to give it your best shot. You got to give it your best shot, and that's what we're attempting to do. And hopefully, a lot of people will, move their business over here. That we've over the years, this other gentleman, like I said, he was letting it go down because Napa stores are independently owned, and so that gives me a lot of flexibility, which I like. And there's not too many independent parts houses out there now. I mean, most of your O'Reilly's and your AutoZones, your what's the other ones? Advance. Some of those, they're all corporate owned. They're not independents. So I like the fact that Napa Independence will give me some flexibility. And I have some friends that got some nice Napa stores. And that's what it takes. I mean, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of money, and keep reinvesting into the business. And that's what we're going to attempt to do. I keep telling my son that I will probably never benefit out of it, but he will. My son is 45, and he can. Well, and that's what we're after, Greg. I mean, we have to open up the showroom to get the impulse buyer and to show them that we have that type item when we have the gondolas out here so they can pick and choose and see what they want, and keep that type customer. We've been losing that type customer. And at our old location, our old location was, they had put it in an old store that was like a laundromat. It was initially was a laundromat. And so it's a small store. We've increased the size of the building probably tenfold. We're probably, this building here with the garage and everything else, we probably have 10 times the space that the other store had. So we're going to have a lot of situations there to be able to increase the inventory. And I've got to fill this showroom up with parts. And that in itself is going to take a ton of money. But fortunately, like I say, we're doing it, and Napa's going to come in and consign some things and help me. They wanted to kick butt too, so they're putting in a lot of effort on my store for me. So hopefully, 1st of November, that's what we're shooting for now. Napa didn't want me to open up the 1st of October. I had tried to shoot for that date, and they had some things that they asked me if I would wait to November, and I said yes, I would. And they're going to kick in a couple of incentives for me. So if they will kick in a couple of incentives to keep me out of my others, keep me in the other store and out of this one for an extra month, I'll do it. But that's what you got to do. But that's that being said and everything. That's what we are doing this morning. I'm not going to be on your too long. Like I said, to give you an update on the weather forecast, I think most people probably wanted to see what was going on in the weather and on this part of the state. So it seems to be pretty good here, and watching the Weather Channel and everything, and seeing what's going on here. I think we're going to be pretty safe. Hopefully, we will. They were predicting that we were going to get 6 to 8 inches of rain over here, and we may still get some heavy. They're saying heavy rains this afternoon. I guess depends on when these rain bands start breaking apart and coming more westerly. And they're really talking. It looks now, and from what I've looked at the radars, it's actually going more north. The outer bands are going more northerly and kind of dissipating and going north. And if it does that, that's a good thing for us, because they had it going through the center of the two states almost yesterday with the prediction of where the eye and everything would be going. And if it did that, because we're only 15 miles from the South Carolina state line right here. So if it did like that, then, hey, Matt, okay, I'll see you got to get to a transmission. Come on my way, because that's issues we've got right now. I've got one with a transmission out. I got to put we got to put a front shaft on the transmission and put a clutch back in it. It was the clutch brake. The clutch brake wouldn't stay on the shaft right. The shaft had got a little bit of play in it, so we had to go put a front shaft on that so the clutch brake would stay engaged right. And we initially thought maybe it was going to be a clutch job, but clutch is okay, and the clutch brake would put one of those 2-piece clutch brakes on there, but it wouldn't stay engaged right. And then I said, well, let's pull it down, put it in the clutch, and when we pulled it out, realized it was the transmission, not the clutch. We may still have to replace the clutch, but right now I think we can get by with just fixing that front shaft on the transmission. But I know you know all about that and everything, Matt. And we're going to be working hard on a lot of equipment. We're getting up to peak season now, so I'm hiring as many drivers as I can. We still need drivers in Savannah, Georgia area, and we still need drivers in the Charlotte area. So if you know anybody that's got their doubles endorsement and wants to pull twin trailers for FedEx, let me know. We're actually going to be needing some more Amazon drivers too. Of course, there again, we still have to have doubles endorsement with that, even though we pull mostly 53s with Amazon. But from time to time, we have doubles we have to pull, so we have to have drivers with doubles endorsement. But guys, I'm going to get off of here, and hopefully I can catch some of y'all guys over there tomorrow. I'm going to try to be on here chatting again tomorrow. So I see my wife coming back right now, so I better end the stream, get off of here, and get back to work. And I'm getting a phone call now, too. So let's see what this is. I have no idea who that is. That's an unknown, so I'm not even answering that. That's somebody wanting to sell me insurance, tell me my credit cards can get a lower rate, or sell me on something. Or Google calls me about 15 times a week. I don't know why. I keep telling them to quit, but they won't. All right, guys. 9 Eastern, tomorrow morning. I'll catch you later then. 9 Eastern tomorrow morning, I'll be back over here putting on a live stream. Catch you then.